What I did want to say about, apps or developing, there's kind of three ways of approaching it. One is you get something off the shelf, right? Which is like industry specific. Number two is you use like an app builder type framework. So there's lots of like app builders out there, which will let you kind of like build something into an app and then you publish the app. Number three is you go custom. I would strongly recommend you don't go custom because, usually you end up throwing $100,000 at it, but plenty of people try and do it, or they go on Freelancer and it just turns into a fucking mess. Unless you've got experience managing IT projects, you don't do it. That just came to mind, which is called passion.io. I've seen people build out some pretty cool stuff on that. That I would say might be worthwhile having a assistant build out for you. You're in this challenging spot where, like, if you're a solopreneur, you can only leverage your time or your money. And so you're going to be constantly managing that as you scale, particularly in the early stages of scale. And so you're going to need to basically balance, like, okay, when do you invest in outsourcing and having other people do things for you based on your hourly rate? Or when do you just roll your sleeves up and get it done yourself? Because the time briefing someone else all the time managing someone else to do it might be a little bit too hard. And sometimes it's better for you to have an embodied experience of doing the thing so that you can then manage someone to maintain it in the future. But what I'm going to attempt to do is be ruthless with guiding you on doing things that are important to you, because, sometimes I'll sit down with someone and they say, oh, what are you up to this week? Oh, I just spent the last day working on my website. And I'm like, what the fuck, you've got 5 staff. Why is somebody else not building your website for you? I'm guilty as charged. I do things like this still as well, but we can't scale as long as we're still doing the things in our business that we could be giving to other people. And if you're out of time, your allocation is fully consumed. So that's going to be part of the balancing act. Some of these tasks will feel like you're doing your first rep and it's like, oh my God, that hurts. Or like the first time you go to the gym, the first time you go jet skiing, and like 3 days later, like you can't walk. Oh my God, I can never do that again, right? But then, the next few times you go, it's like, oh, all of a sudden this is a bit easier now. And so, yeah, a few of these things will feel really tough. Like the first one-page strategic plan that you do will be, oh God, I got to pull in all this stuff. And the next quarter, when you review it, or next financial year, when you review it, it's like, oh, okay, cool. Then you just tweak, you just cut, paste, tweak, and then you're working on it. And you just, you're going to develop the rhythms. What we're going to be developing here is the rhythms of all the boring stuff of running a business, which is connecting our big ideas to executing and finding our way through, having like 10 ideas and all these things that you want to do. And you're never going to get to all 10, but, picking the 6 to 8 that are important and the one that you need to do today or in the next week. And getting really, really good at that skill will be ideal for us to develop together.